Well, if everybody is ready, let's go on the record. Today's date is October the 18th of 2023. The time is 1:32 p.m. The court is going to call cause number DC 89 FM 2023 1494 in the interest of the Williams child. The court will note that adoption is being held pursuant to Texas Rules Civil Procedure 21D as an electronic hearing. No party has objected, and there is good cause for this to be held electronically, and that is based on the type of hearing and the location of all of the parties. The court will note that recording, downloading, or posting any portion of this court hearing is strictly prohibited unless it is completed and approved by the court. At this time, the court will take judicial notice of the contents of its file. And Mr. Baines, if I can have announcements, please.
Yes, Your Honor, my name is Stephen L. Baines, and I'm the attorney for the petitioners, Mr. and Mrs. Baggett, and we are ready.
You may proceed.
All right, may I call my first?
Please.
All right, Miss Baggett, can you please state your name for the court?
Let me swear her in.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Super official. Miss Baggett, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Baines.
Now, Ms. Baggett, you please state your name for the court.
It's Sharona Baggett.
And you're here joining with your husband in this petition for adoption.
Yes.
And you've got there with you currently the name King Williams.
Yes.
And he was born on September 8th, 2019. Is that correct?
Yes.
And currently, the Department of Family and Protective Services is his managing conservator.
Yes.
And you're aware that the parent-child relationship has been terminated as a result of a prior court order.
Yes.
And he's been in your home for more than 6 months. Is that correct?
Yes.
And during the time that he's been in your home, you've had the chance to read and review both the redacted file and the HESIC reports.
Yes.
And after reviewing those reports, coupled with the time that he's been in your home, you feel like you're fully aware of his background and circumstances.
Yes.
And being fully aware of those background and circumstances, you're asking the court at this time to grant this adoption.
Yes.
And once the court grants the adoption, you're also asking for a name change. Is that correct?
Yes.
So even though he's still going to be Lord of your life, right? He's going to be Anthony Andre Baggett.
Yes.
Yeah. And you feel this is in his best interest?
Yes.
All right. I pass this witness, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I'm trying not to cry. I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh my God. Okay. All right. I'm here.
Ms. Baggett, let me just ask you a few questions. And one of the reasons why I had you sworn in is because you have witnesses. And I have the benefit of having a youngster in my life. You do realize that if I grant this adoption, it's permanent. There's no return policy.
Absolutely. Forever.
And I know you indicated that you have read the HESIC report.
Yes.
Did it mention how much this child is going to eat in the future?
King eats a lot. Anyway, we've had him long enough.
Do you have any other children?
I have 2 adult children, 2 girls.
Okay. Well, one of the things I will tell you, and I don't think anyone has told you, and it was probably in a footnote in that HESIC report, is about the age of 12, both of King's legs will become hollow, and he will need to fill that void with food. And that will last until they're about 21.
I believe that.
Okay. And if I approve this means that, they come back home after college. You understand that?
Absolutely.
And I see this whole rack of curls on King. Do you have a dating plan in place?
I'll leave that to Dad.
Okay.
I'm just like, he can't ever date. No, just like, no, he's a little cutie, I know.
And I must ask, I have to write down everyone who's here. And so does Bear have a name?
Do Bear have a name? You have to give the judge the bear's name. Barry. Tell him. Say it again. Barry.
Thank you. Thank you. I have nothing further from this witness. You may call your next witness if any.
All right. Yes, Mr. Baggett, can you please state your name for the court?
Let me swear you in as well.
Okay.
Mr. Baggett, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
You may put your hand down and you may proceed. Thank you,
All right.
Mr. Bain.
Now, can you please state your name for the court?
Andre Anthony Baggett.
And sir, you're here joining with your wife in this petition for adoption. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And you heard all the questions that I asked your wife.
Yes, sir.
If I went through each one of those questions individually, and she is listening, so be careful how you answer the question. If I asked you all those same questions, would your answers be the same?
Yes, sir. Correct.
And more, and you also feel like you're fully aware of King's background and circumstances.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And you understand, like the judge mentioned before, when she asked your wife, that this is forever. It's not just temporary until he turns 18. He's going to be your son forever and ever.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
And you wouldn't have it any other way.
No, I wouldn't have it any other way.
And you also feel that this adoption would be in his best interest.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right. I pass this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Baggett, I need to ask you some questions as well.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
regards to this, King looks very active. And if I grant this adoption, you're going to be having soccer games, football games, theater for here on out. Is that something you're still willing to get up and do and carpool?
Yes, my parents brought me up the same way.
And
So-
you're also looking at driver's ed and cars and girls or partners in the future.
Yes,
And do you have a
Yes.
dating plan for this young man?
until he's 21.
Sounds solid. And is there anything you would like to tell me about your son?
Yes, a lot. He's loving, caring, very understanding. He's very smart. You know, yes, he's very interactive with us and everyone else around him. And
I see that.
he likes to play and he likes to sing. He likes to dance. He likes football. He likes everything. So he's a very, very fun child.
I certainly hope that you remember what you've said when he comes home with that first car accident. When somebody accidentally may have run into a house or something like that. Not that I have any personal experience with that, but I've heard that could happen.
Well, my parents always sit and talk with me, and we, go everything. They're always the type that speak and always teach us, true words. So
Well,
I
it
would
is-
apply the same thing to him.
It is quite apparent from just watching the three of y'all that y'all have been very bonded and y'all certainly have something magical going on. So thank you, sir. Mr. Baines, you may call your next witness, if any.
All right. I'm going to call Miss Martinez.
Ms. Martinez, if you will, I'm sorry, Ms. Martinez, if you will raise your right hand, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may proceed.
All right. Will you please state your name for the court?
Brittany Martinez.
Oh, I apologize for
okay.
pronouncing it wrong.
That's
I am part Hispanic, so it's Martinez to me. So, and how were you employed?
I'm a permanency case manager for To Engage.
which is the agency that's also working with the Department of Family Protective Services. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I provided you with the petition to adopt.
Yes, you did.
And in return, you provided me with the interstate affidavit and the consent to adopt.
That's correct.
And from the department's perspective, this family's met all the requirements necessary for this adoption to be granted today.
Yes, they have.
And do you feel it's in King's best interest?
Yes, I do.
All right, I pass this witness, Your Honor.
No questions. Anything else you need to bring forward to the court?
I got,
Mr. Hughes?
I believe I have one more. Ms. Wade?
Ms. Wade,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon. If you'll raise your right hand for me, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Will you please state your name for the court?
Sashay Wade.
And how were you employed?
I'm the adoption case manager for the Baggetts.
At Good Hearts, correct?
Good Heart. Yes,
Yeah. And Good Hearts is the agency that's licensed this home. Is that correct?
correct.
And I also provided you with the petition to adopt.
Yes,
And in return, you provided me with a packet of documents that relates to the family and the child.
yes,
And that included the home study, the background checks, the adoption evaluation.
correct.
And from Good Heart's perspective, this family has met all the requirements necessary for this adoption to be granted today.
Yes,
And do you also feel it's in this child's best interest?
I do.
All right, I pass this witness, Your Honor.
No questions, Mr. Baines. Thank you, Ms. Wade.
And I have nothing further, Your Honor. And I think Ms. Baggett's going to come through the screen and strangle me now if we don't get this done. So, Judge, I do rest and ask the court to grant the adoption and the name change as requested.
Thank you. It is with great pleasure and my honor that this court will legally establish the parent-child relationship between Andre Anthony Baggett and the child formerly known as King Williams. The court will legally establish Mr. Baggett as the legal father of the child. The court will legally establish the parent-child relationship between Sharona Baggett and the child formerly known as King Williams. And the court will legally establish and name Miss Baggett as the mother of the child. The court will grant the adoption and grant the requested name change. The name change will be to Anthony, Anthony Andre Baggett, Baggot. This parent-child relationship is effective from now until infinity. The court will also grant the request for a change in the child's birth certificate as well as social security number. The court has reviewed the file and all of the appropriate paperwork requirements for adoption are on file and in proper form. That includes the interstate compact, the consents, the criminal and CPS history checks, the adoption evaluation, as well as the health, social, education, and genetic history reports. The court will seal this file. In addition, this court is not doing anything which anyone on this screen cannot obviously see from this video. This child belongs with this family and these parents belong to this child. I know that there was testimony that Anthony has been in the home for longer than 6 months, but not only has he been in the home for that length of time, he's been in their hearts for longer than that. I will also order that he cannot marry until the age of 35.
Yeah.
And I will also order that he must at least have at least one chore a week. And so I will certainly order that as well. Congratulations. And there's many ways to choose a family and to make a family, and one by choice is the best way to make a family. And so best of luck to all of you and your lives together. And thank you so much for stepping up. And it's obviously a missing part of your family that is now complete. And so thank you very much and best of luck to you. Mr. Baines, I will sign the orders in the queue.
All right,
Thank you.
Judge. Yay!
Yay!
Hey.
The court will also note that Mr. Barry the Bear appeared as well. Congratulations.